an engineer to begin with. But like that sentence you just said about like an engineer who is also a blank seems to be common protocol at this point. Whether it's like an engineer who can also be chief of staff, an engineer who can also be a designer, an engineer who can also be a researcher. Like it just seems much more common that the sort of like cross domain thing is a expectation of being hired as a engineer. Like I don't know, Claude, the like a designer who worked on, I think Claude Cowork posted a podcast recently where she was talking about how the way that they look at folks generally are people who are like 80% good at everything or like 200% at one very, very particular thing. And that's about it. Like those are the only people that they'll hire.
Right. Right. Yeah. I think the way that I would describe it, at least how we're seeing it kind of in the various projects that I've got going, is everybody is kind of converging to the reality that is everything done on a computer can be done via code, right? Whether that's Claude Cowork or whether that is kind of Claude Code, which we know Claude Cowork is kind of a wrapper on Claude Code. So even folks that I help that would consider themselves non-coders at all here at like, kind of the different organizations that I'm involved with are interacting with code directly now as like through the agent, meaning like they're using Claude Cowork to do something, usually create multiple versions of material for review, of which they're kind of like picking their favorite one. And they're kind of having to make changes to the content that Claude Cowork produces. And usually that would mean going into the kind of raw code itself and making those changes. And now, because agents are so capable and all that code is kind of self-contained, it's there in front, they want to make pretty subtle changes, text boxes here, increase the font size, that kind of stuff. They can just prompt